On Monday, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy announced that he has fired every single member of an advisory committee on vaccines, because of course, and what he claimed was a bold step, perhaps if you are pro-measles. The brainworm that is driving RFK's body said that he was retiring all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices. That committee issues reports to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on vaccine efficacy. In an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, where he made this announcement, he followed it up with an official announcement saying, today we are prioritizing the restoration of public trust above any specific pro or anti-vaccine agenda, which of course means that it's going to be an anti-vaccine agenda. The public must know that unbiased science evaluated through a transparent process and insulated from conflicts of interest guides the recommendations of our health agencies. Now, look, if you listen to the words that he is saying, that kind of sounds good, doesn't it? I mean, we all want unbiased science. We want transparency. I do not like conflicts of interest. You don't like conflicts of interest. The only problem here is that I don't believe him. I think he is a liar and a grifter. Look, Kennedy claims without any evidence to back it up that ACIP has been, quote, plagued with persistent conflicts of interest, becoming nothing more than a rubber stamp for vaccines. Once again, vaccines that are safe and effective. And said that a clean sweep is needed to reestablish public confidence in vaccine science. Now, look, I may be an idiot, all right? But I have noticed that the only reason there is a lack in public confidence for vaccines is because of people like RFK Jr. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, you got these grifters, you got people selling alternative medicines that don't actually do anything, that don't actually work, and actually harm you. So, I mean, look, I have an issue, yes, with Big Pharma. Y'all know this. This issue is not related to the safety and efficacy of vaccines or the science behind them. That is solid. The issue that I have is the greed of the companies that continue to gatekeep life-saving medications away from the general public so that their CEOs can afford to buy an extra yacht. Okay? That's it. The problem was not the safety of vaccines. The problem is keeping insulin out of the hands of the people who need it. That's the real issue. RFK Jr. is going after the wrong people for the wrong thing. There is a very good reason that a lot of people do not have trust in these companies. And that is why. The greed. Pharmaceutical greed is a real thing. The lies about vaccines, not a real thing. Look, among those, though, that he clean swept out of advising on vital public health measures were people like Albert Shaw, a Yale professor of medicine specializing in infectious diseases among the elderly. Edwin Asturias, a professor of pediatrics and infectious diseases epidemiology at the University of Colorado, and Helen Talbot, a professor of medicine and health policy at Vanderbilt. So these people that have, education, they're educated people, know what they're talking about. Those people are gone. Brain drain. It's gone. Nope. Not going to have smart people in charge anymore. We're going to put dumb people in charge that are just meat suits driven by a worm. That's what's going on here. I mean, wow. But anyway, in order to justify this clean sweep, which is ironic for someone who just recently was photographed swimming in a shit-filled river. Yeah. Anyway, the HHS secretary cited a 2009 HHS Inspector General report that showed that 97% of ACIP members did not fully complete a conflict of interest form.
Oh, no!
No, oh, we got him. Conflict of interest. Oh, my God. Except no. It turns out the forms Kennedy referred to that were marked as incomplete were due to minor errors. What minor errors were there? Well, they, I guess, forgot to initial and date a couple of pages. Oh, my God. Oh, you got him. Oh, you really got him. Except no, there was no evidence of any sort of financial conflicts of interest here at all. And so, again, that's not even the problem, though, that Kennedy had with these people. No, he said the real problem was their immersion in a system of industry-aligned incentives and paradigms that enforce a narrow pro-industry orthodoxy. So, apparently this pro-industry orthodoxy just means being in favor of vaccines that have been proven safe and effective through rigorous testing. Ah, yes. Look, anti-vaxxers hate the fact that the science is not on their side. And you know why? Because it hurts their own cottage industries of selling dubious, unregulated substances as miracle cures. These are the snake oil salesmen. RFK Jr. is a snake oil salesman. He'd be out there peddling the newest miracle cure if he wasn't head of HHS. Complete and utter grifter. These are the same people that told you during COVID to go get horse paste. All right? The same people who listened to Trump when he said that you should inject bleach into your veins or stick a light bulb up your ass. That's their medical advice. And you want to listen to those people? You want to listen to those people? Come on. They are not medical experts. They're idiots. They're grifters, con artists, or they're just plain stupid. And they are going to get people killed. In fact, they already have. People have died from the measles outbreaks that the anti-vaxxers have allowed to happen. Including a child, by the way. That's what's going on. These people didn't vaccinate their kids, and now one of their kids is dead. That's what happens when you follow RFK Jr.'s advice. That's what happens. That's it. Look, public health expert Dr. Neil Stone pushed back on this on social media. Here's what he wrote. Quote, "It should come as no surprise that as HHS secretary, he is pursuing his dream of tearing down the vaccine programs that have saved lives and prevented horrific infections. He's a villain." Yes, he is a villain. This comes just days after pediatric infectious disease expert Dr. Lakshmi, I'm going to have a hard time with this one, Panagiotopoulos stepped down from her position as co-leader of a CDC group behind the agency's COVID vaccine recommendations. Though she did not cite any specific reason for her decision, she reportedly said in an email that her career in public health and vaccinology started with a deep-seated desire to help the most vulnerable members of our population, and that is not something I am able to continue doing in this role. 4 days before announcing her departure, Kennedy changed the guidelines around COVID vaccines for healthy children and pregnant women, removing them from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. She's right, though. I mean, at the end of the day, the CDC is no longer there to look out for people who are sick. They now only seem to exist to protect the fragile feelings of the right-wing man babies who got so mad that they had, at one point, had to wear masks at Applebee's. That's it. Everything that is happening now, and I'm not just talking about the vaccine stuff, I'm talking about a lot of what's wrong with our government today is a result of coddling angry right-wing man babies and conspiracy theorists. That's it. Let me tell you. Okay, hear me now, quote me later. Nothing, and I mean nothing, nothing good ever comes from coddling the far right. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.